Man, it's good to hear that you and Lee Daniels settled what was going on for $2 million. So how's that working out?
I told you we was gonna settle. So, we always had an agreement, and it just had to be honored. And I don't believe in having any kind of issues with another black man on any level. It doesn't make sense. But if I ultimately feel disrespected, I'm not gonna be able to sleep. So, come on, man, get out of there. So, sorry about that. So, if we can come to an understanding in a respectful way and speak as men, then I'm good with it, And I had quit smoking, but I just came from seeing Be Real. It's like Be Real, Raekwon, and then Snoop. How do you quit smoking?
All stars of the secret ball.
Like you cannot. Well, you know what it is it's all these people. Our common denominator is, it seems like you tend to cut only a certain kind of motherfucker's head. You know what I mean? So because of that, all the people that are like-minded. So it seems like whenever something is on the same sheet of paper as what I'm doing, you usually know who it is I need to talk to make that happen. So you've been like this curator of, you're like the connector, pause, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of dope. Even down to, to Reg, as soon as it's about, an issue of parenting and my rights, he's like, I know just who to call. You know what I mean? So
how's that going right now? Like with the court today, how's everything going?
Court orders don't mean nothing unless they're abided by. So we have a court order. I've missed 2 visits, even underneath the court order. So I'm just trying to get my visitation. So, I'm just gonna do what I need to do. Hopefully it works out without any of my children being affected. See, at the end of the day, I'm trying to maneuver where they're not affected.
Right.
And it just means I just gotta just look at it like they're at camp or they're, on vacation or something, and I'll see them in a week or 2. I'm not gonna be over at the house arguing or creating some kind of a scenario where the police gotta come. That shit happened already. It's not gonna happen again. I know how to avoid it.
I mean, you were married, so your rights are different, right?
Nah,
When you're married, your rights are different.
No, you for the most part, when you're married, your rights are automatically kicked in. If you're not married, fathers have to take the mother to court in order to get rights to their own child, which is determined because of visitation.
But I did that too and got custody of Boogie when he was 8. It was a long process. It was very draining, but when I look at my son now, I see that it was well worth it.
Right.
I feel like if I didn't raise him, he would probably be working and having a job, and not being able to be creative and have nothing to pass to his own kids.
Right. And I see as far as people having situations with child support issues or situations with their baby moms or their ex-wives, it's not like a race thing because you deal with people from all races, right?
Yeah, I deal with people all over. It doesn't matter. This has no color barrier. Child support, it's everyone. The deal is that no one's really teaching and educating a man on how to deal with child support. The system is very easy to work with if you have the information on how to deal with it.
Yeah, information is key, not to cut you off.
No problem, which is right. Information is power if you use it the right way.
And the thing is, a lawyer's not going to tell you.
The lawyer's all about the money.
Because he's going to charge you. So honestly, when I was walking through the hallways today and there was like a room for the lawyers, in my mind I had a vision of a movie that I'm going to make where I'm walking down a courtroom and there's a room full of lawyers and I just put a fucking hand grenade in there and blow those motherfuckers up. Because they're so selfish. Lawyers are pieces of dog shit. A bad lawyer is a piece of dog shit and they charge you for time. So regardless of whether a person is nice or smiling in your back, what incentivizes somebody to stop it or to squash it? That's the minute they stop getting paid.
Right.
So they go through all these motions and all these unnecessary things, and really you just paying. You could talk to a paralegal or you could fill it out yourself. I think the worst thing is just not knowing how to fill out those sheets.
Right.
And then having to keep waiting online to get the information. But a paralegal can do that for you.
Well, when you go down to the free service is really for women. And again, if you have the right information, that's why we started My Child Says Daddy, to show fathers how to go to court to get some results. Because you got to tell the judge a story. In telling him that story, you got to give him a solution by explaining to him what you want. Once you explain to him what you want, you're going to get it.
But again, what I'm saying is on those forms, the questions, unless you have done it before, it's very intimidating.
Confusing.
It's
intimidating.
Very intimidating.
Because you look at it and it's like 4 pages of things, and the first time you look at it initially, especially like a person that's not very litigious, or like I'm litigious now, but like a person that's not used to being in front of a judge or going to court, it's intimidating. And the people, at times, the people that are helping you sometimes aren't the nicest. You know what I'm saying?
And you have to get back in line.
It's a lot of different lines, and it almost make you feel bad for asking questions at times. Like you gotta damn near feel like you have to be an asshole just to sometimes get the information, but you sometimes will catch somebody that's really nice and help you out all the way through it.
Right.
It just depends, man. But you, in the moment that you don't have your children, it's like being underwater, you know, because everything becomes urgent. You know what I mean? So you want instant gratification, but that's the thing you have to realize is the courts is not instant. You know, they have to give someone the rope to hang themselves, and they want to know that you're going to be patient enough. Like if this is for your child, then if you really want to be a parent, then you're going to take the time and you're going to tackle what's intimidating, what's frustrating, and you're just going to sit through it. And it doesn't have to be that draining. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it doesn't really have to. Once you get, the first day, it's frustrating. The second day you come back, it's not as frustrating.
Yeah. How do you help people with, like, as far as paperwork? Do you handle paperwork at?
Oh, we do. That's how I do all the paperwork. We show folks, we're like a convenient kind of store, showing folks how to go to court to get results.
Right.
Doing the paperwork for them, using our paralegals, get them in and out of court, show them what to do, doing the proper intake, looking at their story. Tell me what you want. Tell the courts what you want. When we explain, when they tell us what they want, then we can better explain that to them on paper, go to court, get some results, and it's a done deal.
Right.
We're trying to go down there and try to navigate yourself through the court system.
That free system
That free system, it doesn't work, and it's very frustrating because you're like, okay, just like when you ask a question, they make you feel like you're crazy, you're stupid. Like, look, I'm trying to see my kid. I want to be able to see my child.
It's frustrating.
And you're still underwater because you got to deal with so much.
And you're emotional, man.
And you're very emotional. And it's like, you can go off at any time because you're being denied access to your own child. Not by first the court system, you've been denied by the mother of the child. And then the courts help facilitate that by her going in there and telling certain lies, and you got to go in there.
And on a human level, you know, your child is yours. You made that. So someone telling you what you could do and how to do it, it's just offensive. And then even like, you know, I had to pick up my daughters from the police station. I don't honestly think that's the most healthy thing for a child.
To see that?
Yeah, I just don't think it's necessary. Like for a person that has a beautiful life, that shit is scary. So, you know,
But it's worth it at the same time.
You know, it's like, again, my thing is to disrupt my children at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you know, I'm a person that I'm a public figure, so that's the reason why I find it necessary to publicly tell exactly the truth. Because if you look at what you read on a report, which is what the news usually is going to, you know, project, it's not the truth. It's with the exaggerated emotional accusation. But like if you put that in the public, then that becomes like, oh, he didn't pay his child support, or there's an order of protection, so he must be abusive.
Right.
It's just not right to even put that on somebody. So I'm like, I'm not even getting into that because I went through that with Boogie.
On top of the pressure of having to deal with.
Yeah, like I don't want my children to have to go to school and their teachers and principals and their parents of their friends like, oh, your father's abusive. Are you okay? I don't want them to have to feel awkward. You know what I'm saying? So I want them to know, like, nah, this is what it is.
We live in a no-fault state, which means that you can get a divorce for whatever reason. And now that we can get a divorce for whatever reason, now all of a sudden, I'm a bad person.
Right.
You know, well, wait a minute. You know, this means that we just have some differences. We want to move on.
Right.
But these attorneys come in and they blow it up to be real big.
Well, first off, when the attorney for the woman, she's automatically, if she's not the breadwinner, her attorney is cracking for legal fees from the father. So automatically, the woman is like, well, I'm not even thinking about time. I don't care if we squash it. And then he's delivering messages in a way like she don't want this. No, you know, I watched it. You know, that's why when I would talk to the lawyer, I always email Rachel so she can know exactly what I was saying. But every time I'd be like, yo, I can show you emails. I'd be like, white flag, I'll do anything not to fight. Nah, we want to fight. Like, why would you want to fight? You know, why wouldn't you want to squash it? Like, it's for the children. And at the end of the day, it's like, what kind of mother really wants to get paid to be a mother? Who's going to put their children through it just so that they can make a little more money to do what? Buy shoes? Because I don't even care about child support. I'm going to give my kid everything. Whether I have it or not, they eat before I do. So it'd be like, yo, I'll give you the child support. Like in the instance of Lucky, my son, I gave the child support, and I didn't feel like the money was being spent right. So I was like, fuck the child support. Here, I'm gonna buy you a house for Lucky, and go ahead, put it in your name. I don't care. You understand what I'm saying?
It's for the kids.
It's for the kids. I don't care. I don't care what a judge tells me. I'm gonna give them everything. So that's why when I'm in front of it's just the thing that bothers me is when a lawyer will be like, well, I need 50 racks. That's 50 racks I could have put on my kid.
Right.
That's 50 racks that could have went to camp, that could have went to his college education or his fund, his trust fund. A lawyer is taking money out my children's mouth, and I resent that. And they know that shit. A lawyer knows that shit. This is what a lawyer does. He looks to see how much you got, and once he knows how much you got, then he knows what percentages he's going to get out of that from legal fees. He's going to get more than the mother, period.
Not only that, but even when you have people that have homes, that have been married for 10 or 15, 20 years, you know, attorneys get paid if they have to sell the house. The attorney gets their money first before you even get your money.
And you can just go to a mediator.
It's like, wait a minute, why look, we worked 30 years to get this, and it's going to be gone within 1 year because the attorney's going to make $40,000, $50,000, $80,000, $100,000.
But because a woman's emotional, he's going to push every button and make her mad until he gets, and the thing is, she thinks that her not having to pay and the father having to pay doesn't come out of her pocket. That's money that could have went to the family. Like, why would you give this man 50 racks for something that doesn't have to cost a thing? Something as natural as visitation. Like letting a father be a father. But because you could leverage him for dough, like every single, the last year I was in court with, and that's why I resent that dude, Donald, whatever his goofball, Suarez, because he was representing Rachel and Lucky. They all knew that it wasn't intentional, whatever was going on, but all we was in court for a whole year was his legal fees. That's the only thing we was going to court about. And because of that, she wasn't letting me, like, I'm not the kind of person that if I'm divorced or if I have, a baby mother's, I'm not mad at the baby mother. I gotta love the baby. I'm not gonna hate my chef or the chef that feeds my kids because I don't want them to give them bad food. So I gauge my relationship with the mothers on how good the kids are and how good they treat the children. So I'm a present father. Like I'm gonna be there. I don't want the kid to feel uncomfortable or feel like every time he see me, he can't be around his mother, or every time he's around his mother, he can't be around me, or it has to be awkward when we're at school plays and this. I don't like that. Yeah. I used to get haircuts up in the house the whole nine. I'm friendly with the moms. But when they got me in court, that's dead. I can't be friendly with somebody that got me in court. Because I'm going to address it right then and there. It's just something I can't do. Yeah. So it compromises time that I can't get back with my child. And this is when it's time to raise him.
You'll never get it back.
You can't get it back. So it becomes urgent because you're like, yo, I don't want to waste another day. And I know what I didn't get from my pops, and I want to make sure I give that to mine. I don't want my son thinking he's not on my mind every day just because I don't think it's healthy to be yelling at your mother or for us to be debating in front of you or for me to be talking to you about sending messages to your mom just because I'm tight and human. So I just keep distance. But that distance, I can't get it back. You understand what I'm saying? And I love my children. That's all I hustle for. So if I do all of this work, I make all of this money, and my kids can't benefit, and I don't have a healthy relationship, I'm broke. That means I failed. So every time I go to pick my kid up from a police station, in my heart, I feel like I failed. It's a depressing ride every time. And it takes a toll on a real man. Because it's beyond my control, and I'm not used to not being in control for things that are mine, like my kids or my house. I don't want to be told what to do when it comes to something that I'm giving an honest effort about, and I know that I'm going to do in the best interest of mine. And I'm not going to let another man look like he's better than me in front of my children, or that he can protect my children better than me, or he could teach my children more than I could teach. I got to be the superhero in my kid's life. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't no other man gonna be enough.
That's the same thing that got you started with the company. Like, that's your story.
Exactly.
What happened with you? Like, how did you?
Well, from having $1 million business and thinking that I'm on top of the world.
What were you doing? Like, you were like
security, I'm on security bodyguard service. So.
Oh, okay.
I was doing quite well to be, coming up from Compton and making a lot of money and getting married and having a kid, and then the following year started going through a divorce. Right. And then be denied access to my own child. It was devastating. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Like, I go to court, she say this, and it's like, okay, I defend myself, and the the judge kept believing her, and it's like we kept going back over and over and over again. It's like, this is crazy. It didn't seem right for me to understand something. I haven't done nothing wrong. Only been married for a year. I gotta pay her attorney. I gotta pay my attorney, and her attorney trying to deny me access to my own kid. Y'all got me fucked up.
And just so he could get more money.
Right. It's like,
it ain't even because he thinks you a bad guy.
I was so pissed. I had to
Yo,
go in
you
the
know what?
car.
Listen, you know what Donald Suarez taught? I said, yo, what kind of dude are you, man? You know I'm a good dude. You know I'm a good dad. Like, why would you do that? He said, look, man, to be honest, I'm just trying to get your money. He said this shit to me, flat out in front of people. And then when I was like, you piece of dog shit, you bitch ass nigga, because I felt like he deserved it. Oh yeah, your mother. Let's go outside right now. He got right to the street shit. I was like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it was his, then it became his fight. Like now I'm in a courtroom about my children, and his ego is dictating my visitation with my child. And he getting paid for it, and it's short money. If the money's this big, it's like, yo, but you know what? I'm gonna sue his bitch ass. I'm gonna try, I'm gonna put him through the ringer. I need to see if he can do what he did. And he's gonna have to pay that, whatever he got for them legal fees, he's gonna spend that on a lawyer defending himself. Because I'm definitely gonna put him through it. He already called my lawyer like, you know, it's not good for lawyers to sue lawyers, all of that. Right. You know, because he already knows I got him. But I got your ass, and I hope you tell everybody, because I'm gonna make sure you get famous for fucking with my family and being a goofball, a big coward goofball. And I pay you, so you work for me, and now you fired, and I'm gonna get my money back by suing your bitch ass. Period. And I'm protected by my amendment of freedom of speech. I can say what I want to say. This is based on my personal experience with him and my personal feelings. So I think he's a thief, I think he's a coward, and I want to take him to court, period. And because I'm litigious, B, I do that.
And this is what we as men have to go through. Doesn't matter black, white, Latino, Asian. You know,
this dude is black or Spanish.
From no money to having money. Look, why do I gotta pay an attorney $15,000, $20,000 for me to see my own kid?
When I call, every attorney that I called out here just to move my case from New York, which means calling and sending a letter notarized, and they send 3 pieces of paper, $25,000 retainer.
$25,000.
I'm like, come on, man. Like, what the fuck is that?
And that's how
you fired. I fired like 3 dudes.
There should be laws against that.
That's why.
Shit's crazy, man.
When I chose
lawyers is pieces of dog shit, man.
When I
hate those
chose
motherfuckers.
to walk away from my business and say that if I got this kind of money and I'm getting beat up like this, never done nothing, I can only imagine the next person behind me that's coming that don't have this kind of money, how they gonna get beat up. So I dedicated my life to helping men navigate them through the system, get results without spending, without spending all this money on attorney. For the night again, you don't need an attorney for you to see your own child.
You shouldn't have to have it. And if you can't afford to have one, then what?
Right.
And then the thing is, they don't educate. Like an attorney's not gonna say, listen, man, you might not have that 25 racks. You should just go call a paralegal. Nothing. They act like you cannot do it without them.
That's what they supposed. That's a business.
And all these stupid ass contracts, all these unnecessary questions, all of that shit, because they get paid $400 an hour, $300 an hour. So that's why they gonna talk to you about their kids in summer camp and how much they fucking can understand where you coming from. Lengthy conversations with a lawyer. Like whenever you on the phone with a lawyer, always ask them if you're paying for that conversation. Like when I'm on the phone, I be like, I'm paying for this? Because they start talking about shit that has nothing to do with Shell or your dog. Am I paying for this? Like, because what they do is there's a little clock and they hit that shit while they on the phone. Then when they finish, they stop it and they don't tell you.
If I show folks how to work with an attorney, here's what you do. This is stuff it's difficult, but again, if you have the power, this is how you get it.
I'm telling everybody how to beat y'all bitch ass niggas. I hate lawyers, man.
That's why
I'm gonna tell everybody.
The information that I have can work nationwide. This is all information.
I'm telling everybody.
You can get results on how to work the system by utilizing our service, but again, if we don't have the information, you're gonna get beat up.
Yo, bottom line, lawyers be fucking the world up, dude.
Not only that, but see, no one ever talks about what the attorney do. They always talk about the estranged husband, the estranged wife.
Be the lawyers.
No, it's the attorney who's
the instigators. They instigate
the fire into it. It's like this is crazy. It's like, wait a minute, I've only been married for 3 years or whatever. I can't see my kid. Police ain't never. You got people that have never been to jail in their life, but now all of a sudden.
You get locked up,
you get a restraining order.
All kind of dumb shit. And but the thing is, that's a play. So what the lawyer told Rachel to how to get me out the house was get an order of protection, and for the kids and for you, and he has to get out the house, and that's how they got me out the house. I didn't even do nothing. I was like, so now you be tight. It was a setup. That's the way they get you out the house if they try to get you.
You're out your own house and you can't see your own kids.
And now you got to go to court for that. Now you tight because you be like, now a guy like me, I'm like, you call the police. So once a woman calls the police on me, you know I'm dead. But a lawyer knows what's the way a man's gonna know a chick's not playing and she's like, I'm not fucking going now. She calls the police. That's be like, oh, it's like that.
Another man in the house, another man in the house,
police. Another man in the house and the police is the violation.
I went to go see my kid and I was left out of the house with handcuffs on.
Yeah.
No. With my younger son, I went to go see my kid.
Yeah, that's
she called the police. And next thing you know, I got handcuffs on me. I'm going down to the police station. I'm pissed. I'm angry. I'm frustrated.
Why'd you have handcuffs?
And you mad at everybody that like you want to do that? Like you mad at everybody?
I wanted to see my kids. Like, you know, this fucking court order. It wasn't.
Dog, for bugs, I used to get locked up so much, man. I used to be so frustrated. I remember I got locked up on Easter for no reason, man. I was just in the joint crying. I was just frustrated. Like, I can't win. This bitch is killing me. It's crazy.
You have court orders.
Came back home. She was in my house. She got the joint when she was in my house. Came in my house and then got me kicked out my own house. Came back, doors was unlocked, door was wide open. I had been in jail for like 2-3 days. I was like, that's crazy on Easter.
For you to see your own kid.
For me to even be in my house with my own kid.
Right. It's the same thing. It's like, this is crazy. This is what we have to go through.
But the way I got Boogie was because she was trying to get too many order protection. So I went and got an order protection against her getting order protection. And you have the same.
You can get an order protection against somebody getting an order protection.
Yeah, right. They do it too much.
But they do it too much.
Oh yeah,
it's just abusive. And she also was calling child services. So child abuse. They was coming to my house, going to all my kids' schools and all that, embarrassing everybody. And she was doing that shit like every other month, and every time they got to look at it. So it was just to fuck with me, or
they
just
have to come out and look.
They have to come out and investigate. So like the third time they come in, you be like, yo, you can't come in now. You better figure it out. Like I'll be mad.
So if you slam the door,
at that point I didn't.
They have to go get a court order.
Yeah, at that point I ain't.
But you got to work again. That's knowing your rights and knowing how to work the system. Say, wait a minute, you just say, can you come in here and just talk to me any kind of way?
Yeah, like just because of an accusation doesn't mean you're guilty.
No, you don't.
Because somebody else says you kidnapped. It's like to a woman, your visitation, she calls that kidnapping. That don't mean it's kidnapping, dog. That's my child.
My kid.
Like the police was knocking on my door. How am I kidnapping my own child? That doesn't make sense. Am I trying to get a ransom? Like what's going on? How was that kidnapping? You know what I'm saying? If I called and gagged her up and did all that, it's a visit. It's not kidnapping because you don't want me to have her. That's your perspective.
I got one of those when my kid was sick and I was supposed to take him to school the next day. And I called the school and let them know that, hey, look, he's sick. And I called the doctor because, now the doctor, hey, look, he's sick. And, I was like, hey, look, don't take him to school. This is what's going on. I got a police call saying, hey, look, come to the police station, bring your kid. We want to know why you didn't bring your kid to school. Me and the cop get into it by saying, well, why you didn't take your kid to school? I'm like, he was sick. And like, I understand it, but why you didn't take your kid to school?
Now, see, when they did that to me, I said, none of your business. That's my child. Bomb.
See, that's the same thing. I got to the point. I'm like, hey, look, wait.
Not in the police station.
It took you a while to learn those rights, though. It took you a while.
He told me, he said it 3 times. I'm like, look, man, don't tell me you're going to take your kid to school sick, and when he's sick. This is what the cop told me. He said, shut up, sit down. If you don't, I will arrest you because I was at the police station.
Right.
I will arrest you. I will come out there with 13 or 14 police officers and I will arrest you myself. When I sat down, I was pissed. I said, fuck.
That's humbling to a man. A nerd ass nigga just because he got a gun telling
when
you to
I
sit the
walked
fuck
out that
down.
police station, I said, fuck this organization. I'm going to kick his motherfucking ass. I like, you got the
and he's nice with his hands. He's security. I know that must have been tight.
I was like, forget those
like, put that gun down. Give me a
I'm going to find out where this motherfucker work out at. I'm going to kick his ass.
Yeah,
so he's going to take my goddamn kid away from me. You got the wrong one. But look how we get talked to.
It's demeaning.
It's very demeaning.
It's demeaning.
But when
for a real man that wants to be a father,
watch this.
A man would, if he wasn't a man, he wouldn't be
When I got myself together and I calmed down and I got focused and I was like trying to figure it out, so I got his ass.
That's when everything
I went down, started writing down everything that he told me. Went to chief of police commander, the watch commander of that station.
Went over his head.
I rolled that to everybody to say, hey, look, this is what happened. Because he had so many other write-ups, he wanted to get fired.
But now think about this. You're a very disciplined man. What happens to someone that ain't
That's
got
not-
that kind
not
of focus?
discipline.
Well, you know,
That's what
again,
it is. It's so like think about how mad you was and how intelligent you are, and how aware you are, how evolved you are, how much discipline you have to be a professional at what you do.
it
Imagine
took a lot.
someone that
Right,
don't have
right,
that.
exactly.
Who don't
That's
have
why-
somebody to sit them down and be like, yo, dog, don't do that. Like a person that's just doesn't even, that this has never happened to before, has no discipline,
Right.
doesn't have an
Doesn't have
education,
control over their
doesn't know
emotions.
anything, no control. What does that person get? Arrested,
Right.
a lawsuit. He ends up with a criminal record and gets beat up, and his ego's bruised. All of this,
And that can be used against him in court.
All of this
Look,
because you want to
he got
raise your
arrested.
child.
Look,
You gotta get talked to
He got
crazy.
arrested.
Right.
She tried to use that, yeah. She was like, oh, yeah, he got arrested. You see, he's violent, he's emotional.
Yeah, all that. You know, that's not
And you're
all
supposed to
that.
be emotional. This is your kid. That's a natural reaction.
You're supposed to stay calm when somebody fucking with your kid.
You tell me I can't see my kid. That's why I say it.
But you-
Here I have with my little $1 million business. I was finna go kill that judge. I'm gonna kill the attorney. Without the last time I was going to court, I said, this is bullshit. I'm not coming back up here no more. I gotta pay for my attorney and her attorney, and I can't see my kid.
Yeah.
Oh no, y'all got me fucked up. Had the gun in the car. In the car, like I'm, you know, when the right king fight.
Brought you right
It's
to
a
it.
good time. Ain't nobody coming. I'm gonna take her ass out.
Damn.
But then I got
You got really-
But that's what I'm saying. It brings you to that
But it
point.
brings you to that point.
Because when that shit happened,
You start thinking real heinous thoughts.
When the dude was in the crib, I had to go to bed.
Yeah, you told me.
I was like, cause
When
the
I
shit
called
was
you,
thinking-
you was like, look,
Nobody see men crying behind these doors
Yeah.
in case they're kids.
Nah, and then you do cry. When
You
you can't
cry.
see your kid, you cry over
It's
that.
a lot of,
cry
I'll say
over
this
that.
right now.
You cry over that.
There is a lot of there's a lot of dynamites out there that's lit. It's only a matter of time that they'll explode.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all it is. And all you want to do is come talk to me about money, child support, child support, child support.
Child support.
And all that's happening because the lawyer want to get legal fees. And he gassing me to
That's
do
why-
that. That's why I hate lawyers, because they don't care about the kids,
You know,
man.
I'm leaving my business, forget, you know, the stardom, you know, I'm gonna help how to see the kids, walk them through this is how you do this.
And he's definitely been very helpful with me, you know. And I haven't had to have a lawyer, and I've been getting what I want. I've been moving through it, you know. It's been like 2 weeks, feels like 2 months, but it only been 2
You
weeks.
know, and it's all information. The attorney will not give it. Well,
they're
attorney's
not gonna give that to you.
It's why they gonna tell you? You won't need them no more.
Right.
Right, of course.
No.
Like I saw my man in there, I was like, what you got her for? I was like, why you need her, dog? You can do this yourself, I'm doing it myself. She was like, this your attorney, this is my paralegal. She's helping me fill this shit out. Shit is it's easy, but it doesn't cost $50,000. It might, you know, it costs,
Not for you
it's
to see your
ridiculous.
kid. No.
So would that be the same thing in business, for instance? Because
Yeah.
I'm a paralegal in business as well.
Yeah,
right?
you
Same
could have somebody answer, you could have somebody write the shit up and you just go per se? When you
Pro se, yeah.
when you
Pro
do yourself?
per.
Pro, right?
Pro,
You
pro.
go pro. But, you know, like for lawsuits and shit, it's rare that you even ever get in front of a judge, though. You know, it's
Because it's
just
all done behind closed doors.
well,
The attorney.
it's just answer. Then it's answer, discovery, depositions, and then before you get to go to trial, they ask if you settled. I mean, if y'all spoke about it,
Right.
and then you go in. Another like retired judge is gonna give you advice to the way this shit's gonna go. Like I wouldn't do this if I was you, and this is the way you should work it out. And then usually, if it's like, you know, like I'll be in a lawsuit, and like let's say I was in a lawsuit and someone was suing us, a stupid ass lawsuit, and they were suing me in Lionsgate. And Lionsgate was already up to like 300-400 racks in legal fees. You know what I'm saying? And it was out of their hands. They had insurance and they had a $300,000 deductible. So after the deductible, it's not even up to the client no more. It's up to the insurance person.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, and then they settled it. Like I was like, I'm not squashing nothing. Y'all could pay. And the insurance dude was looking at it like, well, if we go through a trial, it's going to cost another 100 racks. But the lawyers got 400,000. The dude had to pay, like, you know, meaning like their Lionsgate's lawyers. We settled for 100,000 or some dumb shit like that,
Lawyer
and he had to give 30% of that to the lawyer. So he went through all that shit. So the lawyers ended up making $500,000. The person suing might have made 50 racks tops.
It's just like when you hear these commercials when the attorney talking about you have an accident.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's like, wait a minute.
Ambulance chases.
Now they're going to get a third of you getting hit.
Yeah.
That's crazy
And waste as much time as possible
to make money.
to make pay. So they don't get 30%.
So understanding the law is the name of the game. Understanding the law.
Understanding the law and knowing that lawyers are pieces of dog shit. The nicest lawyer is the one you gotta watch.
Now watch this. Now understand, we're talking about understanding the law. We haven't said nothing about the law. which means that we're not giving no legal thing. It's like knowing how to work the system.
Right.
We didn't say use penal code such and such just to get
Right.
you this. No, we're just talking about how to go to court, get through some results, and you're not going to use no fancy words, none of this. Based off this case
No
law,
penal
we
codes.
get
You're not
this.
talking about codes or anything.
No, off the family code, you're going to be able to get this. No,
It's as simple as that.
You're just saying, parents, here's how you're going to go to court to get
Look,
this.
here, I'm a child. I'm a father. I'm gonna pay my child support. These are the visitations I want, and there's nothing stopping you from getting that if you're doing everything legit.
Or here's my parenting plan. I got parenting plan 1, 2, 3, 4.
She can say whatever she wants.
Here's how I want to interact with my child. That's why, again, that's why I'm working on this formula that have everybody's case 99% done before you walk in.
Let me ask you a
You say you working
Let me
on
ask you a
formula
different
like that?
question.
I got
Let me ask you a
formula.
different question. What about all of those fathers that get their money in the street? How do they protect their rights as a father?
Yeah.
They get their money in the streets,
Meaning like, because those other people that get their money in the street are afraid to death to step in the courtroom.
Again, all this stuff is information that's going in there, showing them, hey, look, if I work the streets, this is how.
I'm saying someone that's not supposed to be doing, they can't show how they make their income.
Well, they'll still never see the kids.
I think, but a lot of people, because I know when I was really young, that's what I was really afraid of.
Right.
Because she used to be calling the police like, yo, he got bricks in the, all that kind of dumb shit.
No, I got plenty of those games.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Used to come through just when she just off that phone call.
Nah, I would just be scared to even go to court
Because
because
they
of
scared
that.
because of the work that they do. Or
Yeah,
what they got done.
like for example, I think Rachel thought I was scared of court because of my tax problems, but she doesn't understand business. Well, so she thinks she could do whatever she wants because she thinks I'm always trying to cover up money, and I'm not. You understand what I'm saying? My money goes into it's all working capital, and I can show that every year. But she don't know that because she never put a dollar up in her life. So she thinks I'm trying to be shifty and all that. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible when the IRS is on my back. I'm not trying to fucking evade nothing. So I think, a lot of times, a lot of men be afraid because they're not used to police
No,
or walking
they are.
and that's the shit, and girls hang that over their head. But I think you still have your rights as a person.
No, they do. I get that a lot of times. Even
You still have your rights
even
as
by
a
guys that are illegal, they think that because they're illegal that the courts aren't going to, that they'll see the women hanging that over their head. Like, no, let's go to court, get you some results, no problem.
Like the biggest thing that you smoke weed, I'm like, it's legal. And I don't, it's not like I'm giving my kids shock. I'm not smoking in front of them. It's not gonna happen.
Right.
But that's what keeps coming up. That's what she would be like, I'm gonna just tell them you smoke. I'm like, you can tell them I smoke. That doesn't mean I'm a bad parent.
Now watch this. When people use that kind of stuff, I say, well, wait a minute, Your Honor. Before we met each other, I was smoking weed.
Yeah.
And you had 3 kids with me, or you had 2 kids.
You smoke with me. She smokes
so now all of a
with me.
sudden it's bad?
Yeah, this is my thing, man.
It's all how it's put out there.
Yeah. We both smoke.
So that's how it is. A lot of men are scared of the system because of how police talk to you and deal with it. But again, if you have the right information, and we've been showing folks how to, police come over to my house, knock on my door, talking about, we want to see the kid. They've been at my house many times, knocking on the door all night long. I'm in there with my kid. Didn't open up the door. I didn't do nothing wrong.
You don't even have to open your door.
You don't have to open your door. You know how I know?
That's what happened with you.
You know how I know? Because when I would be knocking on the door, if she wouldn't open it, the police wouldn't do nothing.
Can't do nothing.
So that's what I've started seeing.
Even if she's violating the child.
If she's not home, she's not home. They can't break in there.
Well,
Even if you have a court order, like my thing was, I was in New York and she wasn't giving me my visitation, and I had an order for the police to go get my kids. But because it was in New York or Manhattan, they had to call someone in Long Island, and then it was like a very kind of it just didn't happen, dog.
Well, see, all that stuff that
it's
you're talking about now, Kenyatta, is what I'm working on, how to make the system work. To say, hey, look, if I got a court order signed by a judge, and he goes to pick up his kid, because in order for that to really happen, now I got to take it back for contempt of court. That means I got to give some attorney $15,000, $20,000 just to be contempt because it's criminal. But the way that I got the system being worked at is that if you got a court order signed by a judge and she doesn't give up them kids, now that cop can buy her a ticket. Now, once you get a ticket, that ticket becomes a fine. You get 2 or 3 of those tickets, you lose custody. That's how you make the system
That's
work.
dope. That's
Oh,
fine.
wow.
That's how it is.
Whoa.
That's what you want.
Wait a minute. You said, say it one more time?
Okay.
One more time.
It's saying if you violate 3 times, you lose your custody.
Those are the laws that I'm working on.
But you know what I like though? That new wizard situation.
We can.
So it's a wizard, so you communicate with
Family's
the
called
family.
Family Wizard.
You communicate with them on, and it's like, so let's say she's saying some crazy shit, you just go to court, they just pull it up. Like, here's the interaction right here. You know, even though I got that on my email, but the wizard keeps like, yo, I want to see, I'm coming
Something
this
that you
time.
can download.
It's just something where it's like it's being monitored by the court, so they see in your conversation when she's acting crazy, like, no, you can't see her, she's sick. Or no, you can't see her because you smoke. Or da-da-da-da. Then when you get in the court, they just bring everything.
Is that something that the court has to give you, or there's something you
No,
can
this is called our family was it's done by the court. It's done through the court.
Okay, through the court.
But again, you know, even with what he's saying is that when you have a mother that's pissed and angry at you, all you gotta do is just sit back and she's gonna make all the mistakes.
Yeah, she's gonna show you.
And all you gotta do is just stay focused, get in contact with my child, said, Dad, I'm gonna show you how to use everything against her.
Yeah. You have to be patient enough.
You gotta be patient
to do it. If you really want your child, then it's worth it.
For instance, she'll go to the school and say, he can't come up to the school no more.
They told me, that's what happened to me.
So wait a minute.
They told you paid for the school, they told you couldn't
I paid 30 racks a year, and they told me I can't pick my kid up. I was like, it was crazy to me. I was like,
you talking about a bad feeling. I know you were like, what?
Like, I paid for this shit, like a straight one check, one time fee.
Man. I pay your salaries and you up in there.
You telling me I can't pick mine up? Like, they surrounded me once when I picked my kid, like they was the police.
Now, you know, here's what it is, and I'm going to take it to the president, because the president tells us as men, especially black men, we need to be more responsible.
Right.
Okay. The problem with that is who's giving us the roadmap on how to be responsible. And when I try to be responsible, I go pick up my kid, I got a court order, I'm in handcuffs.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I go try to see my kid, just like Damon, go to the school tells me I can't see my kid, and I'll pay you guys $30,000. I go to try to see my kid, or whatever, I'm coming home with my kid, and the police are at my door. These are the things that we have to do to try to be responsible as men. Men have always taken care of the kids. It's just that we haven't been heard.
Emotional women are hard to navigate through. I'm telling you.
That's what it is.
And because you get emotional, you bring yourself down to the emotion they feeling. Because for the kid, that's the thing. What else can get you? There's nothing else that's gonna make me crazy but my kids.
In other words,
playing games.
He can go buy a brand new car. His woman can go out there and wreck it. He can buy a building, wreck it. It's not gonna do no much harm versus him not being able to see his kid.
Yeah, I won't even feel nothing.
You won't feel nothing. When you can't see your kid, that's
the worst.
You know, again, when we're at home,
and the woman knows that that's all she got to do to hurt you. What's stopping her from doing it if she feels she owe you?
And you at home
just
crying, you can't see your kid.
That's what they want you to
can't even
feel.
get in a relationship.
Why are there no laws that stop that?
It is. It's just that men just don't go through it sometimes. That's the point. It's
not put out
there. Men have to be more proactive.
And patient.
And just like now that, you know, with me being around for 26 years, they see that, man, I never knew there was a place for men to come. Like, yeah, I've been out here, just, you know, me just putting up them signs, get me in.
Everybody thought they had to get lawyers.
No, you don't have to get no attorney. I got guys that got millions of dollars that use no attorney.
And use your service.
I'm
not using attorneys.
I got a doctor that spent $1 million on attorney fees until he came to me.
Ooh. And that's probably he was getting robbed.
$1 million.
They probably charged him for cutting paper, B. For throwing away paper. They
throwing $1 million on attorney.
Accountants do that shit too, man. You gotta watch accountants too. Barry Clobber's a bitch ass nigga too. Wait till I get. I'm gonna sue you.
He said accountants.
Accountants too, bookkeepers, man. They get with the lawyers, and then a lawyer will get with another lawyer, like, you know, and it's just an unwritten or unspoken thing to waste time. Like they teach each other that shit in law school.
If my law practice is in Beverly Hills and he's and the other one's in Century City, we already know what we charge. If I already know that I'm charging $550, $600 an hour, we already know that we don't play the game. It's an unwritten law.
Yeah, you know.
Let's play this. Let's probably $25,000. They would have went to that $25,000 like it was now.
And not tell you, and then give you another bill for another 25. They're like, oh yeah, the 25 just got 8, and you owe me another 35. You'd be like, whoa.
Right.
You didn't even tell me that I spent the 30. Like, I would tell a person, this is because I don't even play these games with lawyers. I'll be like, look, all right, the retainer's 15. When we get to 15, let me know. And they just flat out don't. And like, here's a bill for 50 and you already spent the 50. Yo, dog, I told you to let me know. Oh, well, yeah, no, I'm not paying. And then they go get a judgment. Because you're not, like, I'm not going to court. You don't even know what they know how to go get a judgment.
But not only that, but attorneys with these judges, when you as the attorney have a beef and can't see eye to eye, they go get themselves off the case.
Yeah.
I got my $50,000.
Yep. That's exactly what happened. I went through that with the kid Josh. They got their money, and then they make a motion to get off the case.
Right. We have a disagreement. You're just a bitch.
And you know what the disagreement be? because this is sometimes I get with a lawyer, he say contingency, and then try to turn it into legal fees. Like, I didn't say expenses, and I just spent this much on a deposition. Nigga, I didn't tell you to spend 10 hours in a deposition with 4 lawyers, and I gotta pay the person that types. You paying for every letter, everything. And it's like, it's a hustle. It's like they all work with each other. It's a system of fucking robbery. And then once I was like, no, then he makes it. This is the shit that happened with the currency.
The bar association.
This is $1 billion business for attorneys. This is a billion.
They run the fucking world. And every judge used to be a lawyer.
Right.
So he ain't gonna never shit on another lawyer for doing that, because he did it to get there. It's crazy. It's crazy. You just have to navigate. And you just have to appeal to a person's human side of some part. That's what I be trying to do.
That's what I be doing.
You gotta speak to them like they human, because people are human at the end of the day.
That's why the judges, when they come to my meetings and they sit down and they talk to our clients and they see a different side of men, like, man, we're in there crying and, hey, look, this is what's going on. We get results. Because the judges, what he gave me all the answers on how to deal with all this stuff. This is how you get results.
Well, how easy is it for you to help people out in different states? Because I know laws are different in different states.
Well, it's the prefix in every state, in every courtroom is going to be different. The prefix of the paperwork is going to be different, but the content is always be the same. That's all it is. I sell information. I show folks how to go to court. You know, I did a radio show this morning for DC, and I'm getting calls from New York, all over the state.
Well, you know, tell me your number right now. I'm sure you know some calls.
Hey, you can give us a call at 866-72-DADDY or 310-642-8816. Just call my child, says, Daddy, we're here to help you, navigate you through the system. You get results on dealing with us.
I made the call. I'm a client. I can tell you right now.
And I'm a client.
It works out better.
Right.
And come through with the van, come talk you through it and shit.
play a little ping pong.
Play a little ping, some tennis in the back, you know, all that shit. So it worked out, you know.
Well, you can't play no ping pong tennis. I'm gonna let you know that, you know, I can beat both of them.
Yeah, you can beat me until the court case is done. I'm not gonna beat. I ain't gonna beat the chef. I ain't gonna beat the chef. I'm gonna give him that.
I'm not gonna beat you until the case is done.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm not even mad. You know, I'm gonna get the right advice. You niggas be mad.
Man, I've been getting a lot of emails.
Every time I beat him in ping pong, I get a bad haircut. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even gonna do that. He start calling his mom and all that.
Yeah, I call my mom. Hey, so what's like, everybody's asking about Poppington Academy.
Yeah.
It's about to go there.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm doing a very focused class with 75 people so they can have that one-on-one. If you got a real business, you can talk to me about it. I'll take you through your whole business model and I'll give you my personal experience. But that's why the price is so much. So, you know, a lot of times even you call me and say people want to fly me out for advice and how much, and I'll be like, I just can't do that. You know what I mean? I'm not charging 10, 20 racks for someone to tell me, to give someone some advice. I'd rather get everyone that wants to really get advice and everyone like have a fair playing field. You know, so I think for 500 to get that kind of focus,
right. That means
I think that's very fair. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna do something that's a little bigger and a less price point. So it won't be 500, it'll be 200 for maybe 1,000 people. You all right? Cookie, you okay? Just calm down. It's all good.
And she understood. She looked back at you.
Nah, she's very aware.
Because she was like, yo, Cookie, she was like what? You got them trained. And you got them trained up in there.
Nah, they just know. They deal with
the dragons are trained.
The dragons deal with logic.
I'm grateful, but I'm just so tired of this damn job. People say I'm successful, but I just don't see it that way. I think it's time for me to step up and go for my dreams.
A lot of people stuck in jobs and they hate it. I don't think that's nobody's fault but theirs.
When you are studying something you love, it's nothing but fun.
I work hard. I work harder than an ugly stripper.
You have to first believe in yourself before anyone else can believe in you.
We have the capabilities to create the impossible.
I've been through a lot of stuff in life, but never once have I felt like this is the end of my path.
But you have to find your zone that's comfortable for you.
I just like to impress me. I'm constantly challenging myself.
I finally understand the secret to balling.